Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.
I'm Tara Douglas. We weren't able to walk dogs last weekend at the Sylacauga Animal Shelter because of the weather, but we're supposed to have beautiful weather this weekend, and we would love to have a good group because the dogs didn't get out last weekend, but they've been out some during the week. The shelter gets them out every day when they can, but with 150 dogs at the shelter, it's hard and they need help. So we'll be there this Saturday from 11 to 1. You can come out and meet all the dogs. You can come out and walk the dogs. You can come pet the dogs, whatever you'd like to do. There are cats there also. There's a cat room full of kitties that you can go and visit. But just please come out and visit. We're there 11 to 1. You may not be able to meet the pet of the week that we're about to show. We've got a dog named Scout. He's about 6 months old. He is in a temporary foster right now, as you can see. And he is a people lover. He's a dog lover. He is very energetic and playful. So if you would like to meet Scout, you can let us know this week. He may be back there this weekend, like I said, but if you'll let the shelter know, or you can even message the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill and we'll make sure to let you talk to his foster. But he is available and he is ready to go to a new home. We would love to see him go to a home before going back to the shelter for sure. And with a full shelter, the shelter staff would love to see him go to a home instead of having to come back. But Scout's available and there are plenty of other dogs there. If you, whatever age you want, whatever color you want, personality, anything. We've got the dogs for you at Sylacauga Animal Shelter. So make sure to come out Saturday from 11 to 1 and help us walk those dogs. Now we're going to switch gears from dogs and go to cats because my next guest is a cat rescue person. She's also a people rescue person. She's a part of the Childersburg Rescue Squad. We've got Diane Bailey here today. So Diane, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
And as you can see, Diane's got a visitor with us today. So let's talk about, we said that you're in cat rescue. Let's talk about Ryder.
Well, Ryder was brought to me a week ago Sunday. We estimate him to have been, at that time, about a week old. A neighbor had found him. We don't know if she may have accidentally separated him from the mother, if the mother disappeared. She said the mother hadn't been there.
Okay.
But they brought him over to me and I've been taking care of him, and he's grown. He was started out at 4.9 ounces when I first got him, and he's at
tiny.
10.1 ounces now, so he's doubled his weight. So I think he's doing all right.
And it's quite miraculous that you've been able to save him because let's talk about what you typically do. Now Ryder was brought to you, but let's talk about what you typically do when a kitten...
This is my first time doing one this small.
Well, you've done a great job.
And his typical schedule, when I get him up, I wait till he wakes up, but if he sleeps past about 4 hours, I go ahead and wake him up.
Okay.
And we stimulate his bottom to get him to pee and poop because small kittens can't do that. He sleeps with a heating pad in his crate up under a towel, and that regulates his body temperature because they also can't regulate body temperature until they're, I think, about 4 weeks old.
So it's a lot of work.
And, yes, and then after we get him stimulated, have him pee and poop, then we feed him. We got tiny little bottle.
That's cute.
And the kitten formula, never ever ever cow's milk, but we give him kitten formula. And then we stimulate him again, and then we bathe him off with a warm cloth to make sure there's no urine or anything that might cause him to have a, get like a urine burn or anything like that. And we play with him when I can. I've got other cats in the house, so I have to lock them out to play with him right now, and he's beginning to get very active.
I can see that. He's going to be a problem for you before long.
And very vocal.
Now we get calls a lot from the at the shelter and at the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill about kittens like Ryder, and they say that if you see a little kitten like this, then hold off, don't grab it, because oftentimes the mom's coming back. So yours is a special situation where a neighbor found him in a wall or something and had to bring him to Diane. But it's better to leave the kittens, because it's rare to have a kitten like Ryder survive. It's very hard, and as you can see what Diane was saying, it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. You've had a whole group effort at your church and everything.
Yes,
so
I've had helpers.
So it's so much better just to leave the cat where it is and see if the mom comes. Occasionally there are nursing mama cats, but we try so hard to keep that from happening with all the spaying and neutering. So let's talk about that. You have your own cats.
And he's still not out of the woods, I will say, because, they can crash pretty quickly.
So hopefully that won't happen with him. You put so much time and effort into him.
I'm praying over him every day, too.
So let's talk about your efforts with cats in general, because we hope to get to the point where it's rare that we see kittens, because we have too many cats that are being born.
Well, my cats, we have 5 that live in our house, and the oldest one, Trinity, is around 10 years old. She was a rescue cat that someone had put out at the church, and I named her after the church.
Okay.
And she was pregnant, and so our next 2 cats, Missy and Crunchy, were from her litter.
Okay.
And they're all, had been spayed and all as they got old enough. But they've also, Crunchy and Missy have never been outdoors other than in a crate.
Okay.
They've traveled with us out west to Colorado and Montana and everything, but they were crated. Zippy and Patch, the last 2 that came in, Patch gave birth to kittens on our porch.
Okay.
And so I had been trying to trap her with the TNR program, but we hadn't been able to get her. And so when I saw her and the kittens, I put the kittens in a crate, and she went in to get them, and I shut the door, and then contacted Paula Perrin, and I said, "We've got Patch." And her and Mitzi Martin set me up with the cage to keep them in, to keep them safe from the other cats. And then, of course, she took care of the babies, so I just kept them cleaned and the cage cleaned and everything. By the time she weaned the 2 kittens and we were able to get them adopted out, I was like, I can't put her back out. She was so skittish. Even when she came in the house, it took us a long time to be able to touch her. She had spent most of her life running. If she saw us, she would run and hide. She was scared of everything. And she had an injury at one point on her leg that we weren't able to get treated because we couldn't get her.
Okay.
The other one that's in our house, he was also one of the colony cats, and he's the only male cat now until this one. And he came up through our heater vent in the winter and got stuck, and he was there again, extremely feral. We couldn't get anywhere near him, but the only way we could figure to get him out of the vent was let him out into the house. So he's been in ever since, and that's been almost 2 years now.
Wow.
And he is now tamed, but it took months before he would let us anywhere near him.
So you're obviously in an area of town where there's a feral cat problem, and so you've adopted the 5, but you've also been working to do the TNR program. So that's the spay neuter release program. So let's talk about your efforts with that, because again, I know Feral Dogs has helped you. Mitzi Martin has done a beautiful job with the TNR program.
She does amazing. The Feral Dogs have helped us with getting them neutered and spayed. I borrow my traps from her when I have some to take and when she's got funds available. And we, at one point, had all the colony cats fixed, but then we had a influx, like a bunch that came in just all at once around the first of the year.
Okay.
And they're not all fixed. We're working on that now. There are 15 to 20 cats that come and feed on my porch, but there's other neighbors that also keep food out. And some of the cats, I think, may have homes and just make the rounds of where they know the food is.
As cats do.
They spread the word, and it's like, okay, let's go to that house. But then, and they know what time I feed, you know, like I keep dry food out all the time, but I put out like a mixed gravy mix.
So they know
in the
when the gravy train's
They
going.
know about what time that's going to be, and they'll all gather up on our porch. We'll have about 15 or 20 cats sitting out there looking at the door.
Well, we appreciate your efforts with the cat rescue and you participating in the TNR program. You know, I was looking last night, I believe, Mitzi posted that she has raised and spent $31,000 since 2021 spaying and neutering cats in our area. And I think just this year alone, we're close to 90 cats that she's been able to trap and take
I
care
think
of.
so.
And last year we were at 170. So this is an effort that, you know, we hope to see a downturn in how many
Yes.
cats and how many kittens like Ryder that we have here in town. So if you do feel like you'd like to donate or help, then contact Feral Dogs. You can contact the shelter. But Mitzi is trapping cats every weekend, and so there's always a need for donations to help her get all of those cats fixed, so that maybe we can limit the number of cats you
Yes.
have at your house, and we have all around the city for sure.
And there's a need for kitten fosters too.
Absolutely. So, you know, if you'd like to help, then just contact us. And your church has helped so much. Let's talk briefly about, you said you named your cat Trinity, so you're at Trinity out on the Old Birmingham Highway.
Yes, I am.
And I know you've had a lot of church members helping you with Ryder, but let's talk about your sale this weekend.
We have a sale coming up Saturday from 8 to 3, and that'll be yard sale and vendor booths combined.
Okay, great. And it's going to be at the church?
It'll be at the church.
Okay.
Right now, everybody's signed up for indoor.
Okay.
So it'll be probably all in the fellowship hall unless we have some outdoor vendors sign
Okay.
up. But we are looking for vendors. We've got, I know we're going to have like some resin, Scentsy.
Okay.
Just trying to think what else. And then the yard sale is going to be pretty huge.
Great.
So,
and that's to
should be
benefit
a-
your church.
Yes.
So yeah, come on out and go by Trinity and help them raise some money, because they
Yes.
need those funds to help keep their church going. So that's great. But we also have one other thing we can talk about briefly. You're part of the Childersburg Rescue Squad, and you've been on there.
I've been
for how
on there,
long?
I think, 3 years now.
Okay.
We went with some of the members when the Columbiana tornado hit.
Okay.
And I had already done tornado cleanup on my own with some other just friends, like in Shoal Creek Valley. But we went with the Childersburg Rescue Squad when the Columbiana got hit.
Okay.
And helped over there and helped up at Eagle Point. And just like the way they work together, the teamwork.
Absolutely.
And so we decided to join the squad, and we do training every month. Now not everybody does everything. So it's according to what the abilities, and but we can do water rescue or body recoveries.
And you need more
from
volunteers,
drownings.
right?
Very much, we need volunteers.
Okay. And you don't have to have any kind of formal training before
No.
coming and volunteering.
They'll get the training with us. They will have to do FEMA because we're a FEMA squad, so they'll have to do the FEMA classes, but that's on the internet.
Okay.
And they weren't that hard. It was basic, you know, chain of command.
Okay. So
And all
nothing,
that.
nothing too tough.
And then the other training we do each month,
Okay.
we'll do like man tracking one month, we do water training, we do whatever's needed. Our captain is the state training coordinator, so
So you got a
he
good
keeps us
person to train
updated.
everybody.
Yes.
Now, before we go, let's talk about October 11th, that Friday night. You're having a fundraiser
Yes.
for the Childersburg Rescue
Friday
Squad.
night and that's Saturday the 12th.
Okay.
The Friday night has the bands. Let me make sure of the names of them. It's going to be the bands Sons of Thunder, Beyond Blessed, and the David Vick Band.
Okay.
And then Saturday the 12th is the main fundraiser, and that's going to have, it's a bicycle riding,
Okay.
and it's a 32-mile and a 62-mile trails or path.
Okay.
And we could use volunteers for that to help. We definitely want to spread the word. If somebody enjoys doing the bike events, there's also going to be barbecue for sale
Okay.
out there.
Great.
So it's just going to be a fun time. We'll have other, they had an antique car show, and I'm not sure that, I think that changed, but I'm not positive about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And
Well, that
but
sounds like a
it's
wonderful
just gonna
event
be a
to
fun
support.
day.
Yeah. So come on out October 11th and 12th. That's going to be at the Childersburg Baseball
Yes.
Complex. And who can they contact for more information?
Contact Jim Dennis, and he's at the Childersburg Rescue Squad.
Okay, so contact Jim if you have any questions, if you'd like to participate in the bike ride, if you just want to have more information about
And we
the
are on
events.
Facebook also.
Okay,
so.
perfect. You can message them also.
Yes.
But Diane, thank you so much for coming on
Well-
the show, and thank you for saving Ryder and all you do with the cats and the people in this area. And we'll have you on again the next time you have a sale or a fundraiser for
Okay.
the Childersburg Rescue Squad.
And thank you for inviting me.
Well, you are very welcome. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages. Thanks for joining us.
Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge and your help, we can save them all.